welcome to Classic Guitar Rock. I'm Jeremy, and I wanted to continue our lessons on movable chords. We've talked about E position bar chords and A position bar chords, and major shapes of those bar chords anyways. And I wanted to look at the a little lesser known movable chord shape, and that is based on the D chord, the common open D chord. So let's look at that really quick. That common D chord that we're probably all familiar with looks like this. That's just your regular open D. The root is on the open fourth string, the D string, and then we play our first finger, third string, second fret, and then the second string with the third finger, or second finger on the third fret, or I'm sorry, we do that with our ring finger on the third fret, second string, and then the first string, second fret with our third finger. That's just your common D shape. Anytime you've got a chord with no open strings, you can move that chord around. Okay, or in any portion of a chord. If there's no open strings, you can move that around. In order to make this a little more usable in terms of a movable chord, what you'll often see happen is folks will reach up with their pinky to play this up here. So in the case of a D, I'm holding down the note is an F sharp. It's the fourth string, fourth fret, and I'm reaching up with my pinky. You see that shape there? It's a little cumbersome to get used to, but what that does is that gives me four strings instead of just three, and now I can move that up. That's a fully movable chord. So this is a D, D sharp, okay, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Okay, so that's a nice little shape that you can move up, and I like the kind of a more high-end shimmery sound. So practice moving that shape around. What you'll also hear often with this shape is using it with kind of a D string drone. And a drone, we'll do a lesson on drones coming up. A drone is just when you play a pedal note or a constant note underneath, and you might hear it sound like this. So I'm not going to play my pinky here. I'm going to play a regular D and just slide these three notes up. So I'm still moving that up, and if I wanted to, I could just play those three notes, but I kind of like that drone or that pedal note in between, and you can do some cool things with that. That's kind of cool. Experiment with that little drone shape or pedal note underneath. Now what I want to do is put that together with the little chord chunks that we worked on with the E-shaped and the A-shaped. And remember, just in quick review, the A-shaped movable pattern yielded some different little high-end top of the chord segments. If I'm playing just the top of that A-shaped power chord, it would give me a shape like this. See how that looks? I've got my pinky and my ring finger are on the second and third strings, and then 2 frets up on the high E is my index finger. And again, I can move that around. And then I also had the top part of the standard E-shaped bar chord. In this case, we're in the A position. the top of that look like this. Or I could even just play the high 3 strings. So with those 3 little shapes, or chunks, and I keep overusing the word chunks, but I don't know what else to call them. With those chord chunks, I can do some kind of neat things. And let me just give you an example. I'm going to play something that I like to play on an acoustic guitar, and look for these 3 different patterns and how I kind of move those around. This is in the key of D, so I'm actually going to use that little drone sound. I've got fluorescent lights and these single coils are kind of noisy, so you'll have to pardon that for a minute. But just watch how I can kind of alternate between these shapes and get kind of some cool things, and imagine how this would sound with an acoustic. So let's just break that down real quick. Here's I'm doing it in the key of D, so I'm using that pedal note here. Where's that shape from? Okay, that's the top part of the standard E-shaped bar chord at the 10th fret. That makes that a D. So I did that little shape. Then I went to, okay, remember what that is? That's that D-shaped. And at that position, that's actually an A chord. Okay. Oh, that's not the way I did it. I went so. Okay, and then I did that shape again at the 7th fret. Okay, and then I did that top part of the A-shaped bar or power chord. In this situation, that would make that a D, and then again the top part of that open or that E-shaped bar chord. So in this situation, that's a G. Then the standard D. Finish it with an A. Example of what you can do with that new movable shape based on the E chord. You can add the pinky. That gives you four strings instead of just 3, and then it's fully movable. I can move that all over. Or if I want, I can just play the 3 strings. Can still move those three around, and I can use the open strings as long as I do it in a smart way and it sounds good. If it doesn't sound good, don't use the open strings. But that's just another movable chord shape that you can fit into your arsenal. So practice those and see what you can come up with. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. And please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I look forward to talking to you next time on Classic Guitar Rock. Thanks. Bye-bye.